Good evening and welcome to Let's Drone Out, episode 505. There is two of us today on at the moment. There may be more joining. If you're not in the UK on today, the 1st of May, it's lovely weather. I think everyone's found better things to do. But tonight, you're joined by everyone's favourite Curry Kitten.
Hello.
And I am Andrew /Frank. Jack is in transit, possibly in a transit. I don't know.
Jack said he would be exactly 12 minutes late, but we're up 15 minutes late now, so his initial estimate has gone wrong.
Yeah. As Tailspin in the chat says, Happy May Day, Happy International Workers' Day, all of those things. Clive FPV says normal LDO lateness has resumed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you've taken advantage of the nice weather, Curry.
I went flying 2 times this week, which is like record breaking because it's very rare we manage to go out 1 time in a week, and this was 2 times. So I'm quite impressed with that.
2 is more than 1, definitely.
Yes. And I flew a total of, I'm just trying to figure out what I flew. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different quads and 1 wing that I continually threw into the ground until it broke.
Was it a stress test, or is it just you just getting stressed with it?
No, it just wouldn't launch. I'd got this like ESC about a year ago, so I don't think it counts as a review anymore. But I thought the website, I can take this wing with me. We can try and get it going. And I spent last night reminding myself how iNav worked and setting up my radio with I had to use like different switches because the current one doesn't have enough like bells and whistles to do things. And it's like, okay, it goes into auto launch. I throw it, gracefully goes off, and then I'll sit down, goggles on, and fly it. But that didn't work. It just basically the first launch. I've got video. I can show you. The first launch, it seemed like first it had some sort of desync thing because the motor suddenly went and like, well, that's not a very good sound. And then when I did throw it properly, where's the window? I'm just looking for the window and I can't see it. It's not a Chrome tab. Ah, that's weird. My window is not listed as in the list of possible windows.
No.
Do the entire screen. Hang on. Move stuff around. Here is screen 2. I suppose I just make embiggen slightly. So there am I. This is me wandering out. The worst thing as well was this is a field you might see from my videos. Normally the wind is coming towards me like this, so I can chuck into wind in the big field. Today, the wind is flying the reverse direction, so I have to walk into the field, throw it back to me, and I'm stood where my landing mat is. There's a metal gate and then a field covered in cows. So I had to try and just clear the gate and get up, and that should have done it. And so this was first launch attempt.
Oh, sort of squirreling around a bit.
Yeah, it's like first it sort of seemed to desync, and I took the power off, and then I righted it and took the power back on, and then it was already too low, and it kind of hit the gate there. So then I went launch attempt number 2, and it hit the metal post. So that didn't go all that well.
No.
So that wing's a pain in the ass to launch. No, what you need is one of those, of course, but I don't like having the prop near my nose, so I don't like to do that by myself.
Yeah, it definitely feels wrong to throw it over. So this is the 2 hands over your head launch, sort of past your face, and it definitely does feel wrong. But it is the launch method that I have had the fewest issues with. Like
I know when I've got other people to launch that wing for me, and they don't seem to mind their face, then I get them to do that, and it's fine. But trying to side launch it, I can do that on every other wing I own, except this one. It's heavier, and it's the wings are like lower profile. It's a sort of speedy wing, and it's like if you don't get it up to speed, it'll just stall anyway and fall out of the sky. And yeah, so not successful from the wing point of view, but the quads flew.
Oh, there we go. Any exciting new quads, or are you just sort of actually enjoying the weather?
I went out and I decided to test some new batteries by taking some of the old quads off my wall that I remember flying and seeing how they would work with the new batteries. Because these quads at the time, I used to use like little 1.3 amp nanotechs. And then these sort of newer quads came along with their big motors and stripped those batteries bare within about a minute. So I thought, now I've got these new 1550s, I will try them, which was interesting because these were quads from 2017, 18, and 19. And the first one was running Betaflight 320, which meant I had to go and find the very first version of Betaflight that wasn't a Chrome extension in order to just check how it was set up. And it had anti-gravity mode on a switch, which I don't remember what that was.
I can't remember what it was. I remember it being a thing. I can't remember what it meant.
I think it might have been something, if you went full throttle, it would drop one of the, like the P or the D or something. The idea was
like TPA, that thing.
Oh, that's something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did something.
If anyone in the chat remembers what anti-gravity meant, let us know.
Yeah. They also had no concept of smart audio or anything, and I didn't know how to change the channel. But fortunately, I found it was on the channel. And I flew 3 quads on the basis that if I liked them, they get promoted to Express LRS because they're all on FreeSky, which means I had to disassemble them to find the stupid bind button to put on my multi-protocol module to fly them. But they all flew okay, with like one being like, "Ooh, this is terrible camera noise," like lines like this. And one was really clean and nice, so that's definitely getting one. And then the other one was my original iFlight Nazgul 5, which I did fly quite a bit, and that's still quite nice. But the camera seems, even though it's a Calyx Ratel, it seemed a bit crappy in comparison to other things. But there was that one. And I went out today, which I flew my Franking quad. Well, the story behind this is, hang on, what's Caroline? I thought anti-gravity was control of the air mode, keep motors under control when throttle is 0. No, it still had air mode. And anti-gravity was on a switch to do something else. I don't know what that is. Yes, I built a quad that doesn't fit in the frame. If you look at this, you will notice there's this big ugly appendage on the nose, which is a Wi-Fi board. I bought all these parts thinking, well, I bought all the parts. Banggood gave me all these parts. The idea was to build a quad. And I was trying to get like a nice long frame so I could stuff my camera's trying to follow me. Don't follow me upwards. Just look at me. The idea was it's like a long frame, therefore I can fit my HD system in the back. But this was my third choice frame, at which point I was desperate because they were out of stock. And it turned out to be, this will only fit with a 20mm stack. And of course, my stack is 30.5mm. Hooray.
Typical.
Specifically built to put an O4 module here. So there's like space here. And because there's an XC60 here, you've got quite thick gauge wire here, and you can't put anything in it. So I have a stupid fan unit with a... Stop following me upwards. Stop moving, camera. Come back down. Yeah, the stupid unit there. I think, though, because I got the props the same colour as the rest of it, it looks all right. And these got a bit like bunny ears. It flew all right.
It does look a bit... Does look a bit 2018, but yeah.
It flew. It's going to be taken apart, and then that frame can be used for something proper. And when I get a proper frame, I can put the other stuff in it.
Caroline Tyler has put some research in. It says anti-gravity multiplies the eye gain by a certain number the moment throttle changes very quickly. And it immediately reduces it once the quad has maintained the attitudes correctly.
Mm.
Ah.
There we go.
I think that's just done automatically now or something. That's not a mode anymore.
No, it's in the filter settings. It's buried in there, anti-gravity. And you lower it for big quads. That's what I found. That's what I realised mine was still on 12. And that's what caused the smoke in the sky, which Frank was very upset with, that he didn't catch on camera.
Smoke in the sky sounds fun.
Yeah, I flew across the sun, and he said I blacked out the sun with the smoke and fire.
Yeah.
But yes, got
good
some
times.
New Secret Squirrel ESCs and stuff.
Some new shiny.
Yeah, and I tell you what, little bees as well. Like, that's, but this one's dead. This one won't pop. Right about. Hang on, where did it go? Bang. Yeah, there.
In your face.
Yeah. See it? See the big giant hole missing in it? That'll do it.
That'll be it.
Yeah. So if anyone's got spare fat, let us know. Always up for a bit of. I'm sorry for being late. I forgot to wear my watch today. I've been cleaning. Just totally. I was like, shit.
I would have
Friday.
been here, but I didn't know the time.
My alarm went off 1:45, and I was like, shit. Yeah. So. So yeah. Rail. Yeah, me and Frank I should see Frank tomorrow. It's gonna be a real treat.
Yep. Sunshine and seaside. That's the plan, right? That's what I've heard.
If only we could get a disposable barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, well, anyway, chat for later. But
Already come visit.
yes, I have sort of following on from what Carrie was saying about FR Sky receivers. I've been messing around with a Radio Master R168 with the sort of crossover where Radio Master would sort of supporting people who weren't going to go for the FR Sky access stuff, but FR Sky had stopped making the ACCST or CSST, whichever one it was. And so in that brief period of time, I needed a receiver. I wasn't going to go to Express LRS at that point because I didn't want to spend that much more time in front of my computer trying to make things work. So I bought one of these receivers. It's been in one of my fixed wing things for ages, and it's got S-Bus and it's got 8 PWM channels. I'm using the S-Bus to go into the flight controller to do all the normal control surfaces, and then using the 8 PWM outs to do other funky things. So I've got, well, the thing was, it says in the manual that you can do channels 9 to 16 out of the PWM. Is my mic died again? No?
No, I can just hear a bit of but I don't know whether it's me.
Okay. Where was I? I was saying, oh yeah, it says in the manual you can get channels 9 to 16 out of the PWM and all of the channels out of the S-Bus. So I was using 1 to 8 to do the flight controller stuff, and then I was planning to use 9 to 16 to do other funky things like flaps and a pan tilt gimbal and all this kind of stuff. But I could not get it to work. It kept on putting channels 1 to 8 out of the PWM, and I had already used all of them to do like modes and all sorts of other stuff. So I was like, I need these PWM channels to do all these things. Why won't it work? And I posted on the Discord, and I posted in a couple of Facebook groups of people that I thought might know. And basically, no one ever used these receivers. No one knows what it's doing. But luckily, Andy RC was like, yes, do this. He was wrong, but he got me convinced that it was possible enough that I tried even harder. What I ended up having to do was just change the receiver number when rebinding it, because basically you have to set this setting as part of the binding procedure. And I was convinced I was doing this as I was rebinding it, but it was clearly not rebinding with new settings when I was rebinding it. Whereas when I changed the receiver number, it was rebinding with the new settings, and that made it work. And that was the answer. Just perseverance. Try every possible thing in the menu. Eventually, it'll work.
Is this Free Sky?
I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like it's not. It was Radio Master implementing something to cover what FR Sky weren't building anymore, right? So it's a bit of a
bastard child.
Yeah, but it works, which is good enough for me for now. And I would rather be pressing buttons and pressing bind and having LEDs and things beeping at me than going through another CLI to do stuff. So that's a win in my book.
I know you got desperate because you rang me. That's how desperate. If you remember.
No. This was like in the past few nights.
No, for the CLI stuff. You were like,
oh, that was months ago. That was for a quad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know it's bad when Frank rings me and goes, this is bullshit.
What's the command to do this?
Yeah. Oh, so bless you. You can do, but I'd have to come off my drugs in order to facilitate that request. And I don't think there's any more for me to go back on, and then I'd just get more diseased and then die. Which might not be a bad thing, to be fair, but who knows? Oh. Curry, you've had your hair cut. You're looking sharp, mate.
I thought so. And the very lovely hairdresser also trimmed the greys off my eyebrows. Extra special service for old people.
Oh no, really? Oh god, you'll get some.
I got ID'd for a beer last night. I was very excited.
Ow! What with that beard? How?
I don't know. Also, I didn't have any ID on me. I was like worried I might not get it, but eventually I convinced them that yes. I was born in the late 1900s. I am allowed beer. Thank you.
Oh my god! Whoever ID'd you clearly wanted to sleep with you or something.
I think they're just. I think they were so young that they didn't really know, like, sort of, everything from 21 to 51 was all the same. I think, as far as they were concerned, just couldn't. They were age blind.
That's a real worry because nobody carries ID anymore. They just have a phone. That's what
I was trying to think. Like, do I have any ID on my phone that has my age on it? But I don't.
I can give you my detainment slip of where I was trying to recycle, if that's any good to you, love. I carry that around.
Yeah. Caroline Tyler wants to see your T-shirt, Jack.
Oh, it says straight out of Midgar.
It's
Final
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 7 and NWA instead of straight out of Compton. Bad motherfucker called Ice Cube. Sorry, that's all I'll do. When you get 40, everyone looks 12. That's worrying, Andy. I don't think you want to write that down.
It is true. Like, policemen look like they're in kindergarten. It's like, you can't pull me over. You're not old enough to shave yet. Go
No, I
away.
know. You're 12, mate. Go away.
Oh, dear. So, Jack, have you been flying then? Have you been making use of the weather?
No. I'll be honest with you, depression's been kicking my ass. It took me all day to get ready. I had a bit of a cat's lick. And then I was going to go for a walk. And then my friend texted me. And then I ended up getting in the car and I drove to see him. And that's it. I done a bit of soldering for Digby Dan this morning. I woke up and Digby Dan showed up. But no, I haven't. I have not been out flying. The last time I went flying, I was in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this damn label off. That's a Dr. Dre line. And yeah, I don't know. I've just been the lack of energy. I mean, I phoned you up, Curry, didn't I? To cheer myself up. I was very upset. And yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. After I get off the phone, I'm probably going to chat to Frank and charge some batteries up.
I have batteries. Some batteries are charged.
I will warn you, if anything explodes, I will burst into tears. I will. That's kind of where I'm at. It's got.
This changes my plan of what I was hoping to test down there. Then
I know. No, on purpose. The stuff that we want to blow up is all good. It's got so bad that it's got so bad that I kind of stopped doing stuff. I tipped a load of oil all over my floor, and then I was having to put bicarb down to soak the oil to get it out of the carpet. And then
to get the bicarb up, you put the acetone on, and then to get rid of the acetone, you set fire to that, and then to get rid of the fire, you get the fire extinguisher out. Yeah, we've seen the cycle.
There's definitely too many weird solvents on your desk.
Yeah, it's got to a point where it was so bad, I was like, I'm not going to touch any stuff because anything I work on goes to shit. The only thing I fixed is my old set of goggles. I took them apart, got the fucking bit of dust out of it that always looked like a quad. It was just like a little speck of dust somewhere. And I'm like, when you're trying to look for what is a complete speck, so I took them apart. I replaced the ribbon cable. So I've no longer got a ribbon cable that has been snapped in half, scraped back, soldered individual pins to it, and then covered in solder mask. And then, because there was no sunlight, because we live in England, I put it in there. So the whole inside of the goggles is covered in green liquid solder mask that never went off for ages. And then, and that's the last thing I fixed. And then I broke something else, which I won't say what's on the show. One of those ESCs, that ESC might not work, the one I held up, because...
the one with the hole in the fet?
No, I've ripped... No, it's the other one that's never been used or soldered to a quad. I managed to solder one side on with a TVS diode, then forgot that I'd soldered that side down, and then got really annoyed that the other side wasn't moving when I was reflowing it, because I'd obviously turned away to do something, or scratched my balls or something, and then went back to it, and then got really annoyed that I couldn't reflow and it weren't moving. And then it turns out that then I ripped the pad trying to move the diode. Yeah, so I ripped a pad off with a pair of tweezers, trying to manhandle this diode into the correct spot. Yeah, so that's just amazing. So yeah, that may or may not work. So the negative pad's probably about 3 millimeters squared for the whole entire 8S ESC. So that's all that's left of that. It's just been shocking. It's been a disaster. I didn't realise that these adjustable regulators, you have to cut the trace to stop it from adjusting. And I sold the automatic level pad, set it to 5 volts, ploughed it, and then it blew right away because I didn't realise you were meant to cut the trace for the adjuster. What's the point, right, of having pads that you solder and jump to, and then having a pad for it to be adjustable? Just don't connect any pads and let me select. If I want adjustable, guess what? I'll solder the adjustable pad. It's not hard. I've got to solder the wires on or the header pins anyway. So that blew up today. So I killed that. So yeah, I've just like, other than perching on my chair and taking a big giant dump on my desk, I haven't been having a great time. Oh, and the ant problem still goes on. I've got a constant headache because I'm probably breathing and ingesting so much ant powder.
There's ant powder, acetone, isopropanol, solder flux.
Yeah.
And that's all the things that we've spoken about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's countless other things just sitting around.
Yeah.
Like PLA fumes.
I mean,
all sorts.
Like, this is how bad it is, right?
It's disappeared into the darkness. We can't see him anymore.
I have a bucket of what looked to be...
It's not dead bees, is it?
Cocaine. It's not. It's bicarbonate of soda. But that's how much bicarb I have had to buy.
Did you need to get that much? You're going to be on a watch list. You could build like some sort of dirty bomb with what you've got
keeps
there.
saying that. Dan keeps saying that. Like, I dread the day.
Yeah, well, what do? You show up and say, "Can I have a 5-gallon drum of bicarb soda, please? I spilled some oil."
It was a lot of oil. It was a good 2 or 3 liters on the floor.
You've got 2 or 3 liters of oil in your room.
Also, I'm not sure I'd dare ask, but what sort of oil? Like
cooking oil.
Oh, okay. I mean, it could have been anything, couldn't it? It could be anything from like CBD to 5W40. Like, it could be anything.
Yeah. So there's white powder spread everywhere, trying to soak up oil, and then there's ant powder on the other half of the room. The only place that hasn't got powder covering everything is the bathroom. That's it.
It's just
no diddy oil. No. If it was baby oil, it wouldn't be so bad because A, that doesn't go rancid. B, that doesn't smell of cooked chicken. And C, it's see-through and clear. And now everything looks like a care home. It's that oily brown, like horrible
brown and talcum powder.
Oh God! I literally how I haven't killed myself. I don't know. I was like, if the doctors phone me up and were like, "You're gonna die," I'll be like, "Oh, thank God!" Like, fucking hell! Like the week I've had. Fuck me.
Oh well. Well, you've got a morning in the lab tomorrow to look forward to.
Well, the lab nearly burnt Digby Dan's house down. He tried charging it, and I was like, "Surely you do this?" No, we've not figured out. We do not know how to charge the lab. We've got no idea.
Okay. So, what is the plan for tomorrow for you two? What are you doing?
We're gonna trespass and we're gonna go fly some stuff. And I don't know, Frank, do I build myself one of those things?
Yes.
Would you share a bit of smoke with me?
Well, I will have to find the smoke. I've got the matches.
I got loads of them.
Oh yeah.
Please,
Problem
yes.
is, but yes, I'll dig some things out.
Tailspin, yes. Lots of kitties needed for Jack.
So yeah, so in the audio Discord, link in the description, you can find the channel of cat spam for Jack. Any contributions welcome, as long as it's vaguely cat related.
Yeah, I'll post it as LDO. There you go. Yeah, real kitties, please. None of that AI shit.
Also on the
Sounds like-
Discord.
Sorry about that, listeners. If you 20 minutes of me whinging, I do apologise. Carry on, Frank.
Also on the Discord, in the show or during the show, Caroline Tyler in the chat has posted a photo of a Balsa, I guess DLG, because I can't see a motor, or at least glider, a Balsa glider. I'm not sure if that's the official model name of the glider, but it's got some nice vinyls on it. But yeah, Caroline says that's her first full Balsa kit. It looks very nice. It's looking a lot better than my first Balsa kit, which is... Well, actually, no, I have done some free flight stuff, if that counts, which was Balsa. They flew well enough that I didn't get them back.
That's good. That's really good. That's what you want.
It flew over a
free
fence.
flight.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we used to buy as children, those little balsa kits with the windy rubber band thing.
Exactly. And I was annoyed by the tail being off kilter, so I built it straight, which means it goes straight instead of in circles. So I just carried on going into the distance.
No.
You showed
Oh,
them.
geez. Are you the sort of person as well who, like, you know, like the if you kilt the motor off to stop the torque steer, did you like, oh no, I'm not doing that. Put that straight as well.
It's off kilter. We can't have
Yeah.
that. That doesn't look right.
Like undoing years of progression.
Yeah. Clinical lack of humility. We put that down to.
I tell you what, at any point, Andy, if you're feeling not sweaty, if you feel like calling me sometime and being like, don't worry, it will get better, please do, because I fucking miss our chats.
Apparently, the official name for this Balsa model is a Dammit, and not the vinyl sticker that Caroline has put on hers, which you'll have to go to Discord to find out, to save our editor doing an edit.
Oh, no way. Is it? Did you begin with the letter F?
It begins with a letter.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll have to go to Discord to find out. Exactly.
Should be good.
So, have you got any plans over the long weekend, Harry or Jack?
Not flying related. I'm going away in the camper van, although I could take a quad with me. That was the general plan of things. So maybe I'll take something that can fly. Last time I tried to take my like DJI. I think I've got a Mavic Air, the original one, and I sort of got my phone out, and we were on this interesting bit where there's these multi-layers of these sort of dammed things on them. Some estate somewhere, I can't remember where it was, National Trust stuff, and the phone kept crashing. The app kept crashing, the Fly app, and I sort of posted in the DJI forums about this because I couldn't fly, because it's literally like, I'm there, right? Let's spin the motors up. Oh, it crashed. That's not good. So I don't really want to launch this in the air if it's going to do that. And they're like, oh yeah, have you tried doing this? You're the normal stuff. Clear your cache. Do this. Do this. Do this. It's like, no, look, it fails on this version of iOS. It works on this version of iOS. So like, oh right, we'll look at that then. They're not going to look at that. They don't care about old quads, do they?
No.
So
Well, you
if
say
I
that,
do-
but isn't it the DJI Fly 4 or app or whatever it is? I feel like the same app has been used for a long time.
it has, but this particular one was with the old stuff, and the newer stuff
Mhm.
uses a different app that probably does work.
No.
So now, if I
Okay.
do that, I'll have to take my old phone with me, just so I can fly this old DJI thing, or I just take a different quad.
Yeah.
Goggles.
What is your go-to FPV quad now? Do you have one?
It depends what I'm doing for that sort of stuff, where it's like it's not so much a sort of rip thing, but it's like more get nice footage and be able to have like reasonable video, but not like too boring tripod in the sky. Is probably the GoFly 20. It's one with the walk snail stuff in it, and it's got the Midnight VTX, which is the only thing for me that you put it into Gyroflow and it just works. There's no messing. It's like put it into Gyroflow and it's like this is a Moonlight, and it turns out like nice stable footage on the other side, and it's only about this big, so that's quite inconspicuous. I think that's quite a good one to use.
Yeah. There's definitely something to be said for having a whole setup that doesn't need like a enormous special made quad bag to fit everything in. That you can just have your radio, a couple of batteries, goggles, and a little quad, and you can just take it somewhere and not stress about it.
I was thinking about that
good.
today, because today when I was flying Open IPC, I was using this on my HT0 goggles, and I've got a separate power cable for both of them, and I normally use like a 5200 4S. So I had two of those in my pockets. I could barely keep my trousers up because they're that heavy, with this thing on my head sort of weighing forward quite a lot. And I was like, oh, this is a bit of hassle, isn't it? So there's something to be said for being able to be quite like low key and lightweight about it.
Traveling light. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then at the other end of the scale, there's like big fixed wing stuff, which is just requires a whole rigmarole to get it anywhere and fly at all.
Yeah. Weirdly, when we used to go away, I often used to take like a 1 meter wing with me somehow. I don't know how I managed to get that on top of all the crap you put in the
Parcel
cars and
shelf.
stuff.
Parcel shelf.
Maybe. And I just
Flying wings do nicely on a parcel shelf. I have found that over the years. They work well.
It's like drive-by flying. You get somewhere, you launch it, you fly around, do naughty things, land, and drive off. No one sees you. Didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's like all the like actual, but there's vaguely scaley, model-y things. You just have to dedicate your car to taking them anywhere. They are inconvenient, I would say. I'm reminiscing about the days when I would get on a bus with a backpack with stuff and then just go and fly somewhere. Like bus-friendly flying is good, I would say. I still want a wing that can fold down enough or somehow compact down enough to go inside a bag without getting a load of hanger rash inside the bag. That would be.
You want the original Zode Dart?
Do I?
Yeah, that had like all magnetic bits that just pop on.
Yeah, I feel like it's not gonna. You'd have to put it inside a box or something though to put it in your bag.
Yeah, but the
And
box
then it
fits in a backpack. The box is like
Does it? Okay.
this sort of.
Okay. Well, I'll have to look into something like that. I've got a bunch of little wings, but I have not found one that meets that criteria just yet. But talking about small flying things, the Whoop Club Norfolk are putting up 2 events. One is now live on IFPV in a tank museum in September, and they've got another one in the aviation museum, which will be going up on IFPV in a couple of days. So if you're listening to this on the audio only podcast, it will be coming out immediately. But yeah, I mean, I'm having seen some of the video of the racing round the aviation museum. That looks like a lot of fun.
Tony sent me this and said your life with a laughing emoji. Thanks, Tone.
Dead noise. Someone say
Yeah.
something.
Carry on, Frank. Norfolk. Anything else?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Well, we were talking before we went on air while we were waiting for you, Jack, about
Sorry.
the apparent sudden, I wouldn't say rush or sudden availability or things coming out as far as digital systems go. First, we had DJI and Walksnail, and then so OpenIPC picked up a bit, and then we've got like Kadak saying we're going to release some sort of like beginner-friendly or low-cost digital system, and we've got this new thing from Edge. Was it Edge or Edge something?
Edge T3? That thing?
Yeah. Which is kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
I had the link open, but then I closed it. Edge Smart Drive is the name of the
Edge Smart Drive. What a
manufacturer.
classy name.
Yeah, the Edge Smart Drive, Edge T3. Although they are confusing in their terminology about the name of the various components. They have the transmissions, video transmissions. I can't remember, where is it? Somewhere around here.
Transmission module or something, didn't they?
Transmission module VRX and transmission module VTX. I feel like if it's a transmission module, that can't be the VRX. That feels
No, I
contradiction.
feel
But
I-
there we go.
they've got that terminology a bit weird there.
Yeah. I also like that they list the VRX as being a 20-watt unit. That's its power consumption, not its radio output, I would hope. But otherwise, people that are flying around you are going to have a bad time. You've got 20 watts
Yes.
coming out of your receiver.
Although they do claim quite long range, perhaps that's why.
It sort of bounces it back off of it or something.
Yeah, it just bounces off different planets and things.
The ionosphere.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we've seen it before where like someone writes a driver or just starts making use of a particular chip, and then because that's available, then you can kind of have other systems making use of that same chip and either the same driver or a sort of reverse engineered version of that driver. That has definitely happened before. But it would be interesting to see if we're going to end up in a sort of situation where, like with the R9 receivers that could be flashed to ELRS, and or I think was it Ghost receivers that were being
Ghost
flashed?
as well, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see a similar sort of thing where someone's going to have an ELRS equivalent that for FPV, the video transmission side of things, that makes use of all these chips across all these different products, where you end up with kind of a unifying system that uses all the different products and there's different chips. Or whether I don't know whether like the chips are fundamentally used differently on the boards the way you wouldn't be able to make them compatible. But that would be the dream, I think. If you had a system that was supported by multiple different manufacturers independently, but were cross-compatible. That'd be very nice.
That would be nice. A bit like analog. So you don't have to buy either multiple pairs of goggles or multiple modules that awkwardly then have to fit on your goggles somehow.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, if only there could be some way we could have multiple different video transmitters and receivers that were independent. Imagine the world where that was the case.
Good times.
Yeah.
Just talking crazy now, lads.
Yeah. And Caroline Tyler says, is FPV? Jizz FPV? How do you... Seems questionable. Seems okay for wings or planes, but too much latency for quads. But, we've seen improvements in things over the years. With every system, we've seen improvements. I imagine there's a lot of headroom on this. Like you were saying before the show, Curry, that it seems like there's a lot of stuff on here that could be cut down.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen that sort of the stuff used for OpenIPC was like system on a chips that run an entire sort of version of Linux. So it seems like that's overhead that you don't need if you're just doing one single thing. And OpenIPC is basically Linux running a bunch of programs which happen to push out their the signal to the receiver. So I'm sure if people that design their own chips like DJI don't have a big operating system, it's just like push this stuff out as the most efficient way possible, and that's about it. So
rather than it being a kind of software of various apps working in an operating system, if someone wrote, like if an embedded software engineer wrote some C on it or something, I don't know, what sort of things might we look out for? Any ideas?
No idea. I have no idea how to do that, but it seems to me that you've got a chip, and obviously it speaks some sort of assembly code, and that's what's running the OS. So just replace that with a much leaner system that just says, take image, put that way. Because at the moment, of course, like, it's not just like we're using a whole chipset and then we're pushing it out there. We're using a whole chipset and then we're connecting via USB essentially to a Wi-Fi unit, and then we're sort of doing hacky things with the Wi-Fi to say, don't use regular IP, do it my way and send it out there, and that'd be faster. So there's definitely things to do. And it seemed like Cadex were sort of vaguely admitting to using the same types of chipsets that were being used in the cameras OpenIPC's use. I think they're the Sigma somethings, a certain chipset, through sort of leaked documents. But they obviously don't want to run OpenIPC, they want to do their own thing. So perhaps they can make it leaner and better. But they seem to be suggesting that it would be some sort of low-cost, beginner-friendly thing rather than like big performance. So perhaps they're still going to concentrate on Walk Snail for their big thing and this thing to get people interested. In which case, you're still going to need another goggle module, probably. This is what comes down to. Every time someone brings out a new thing, it's of course not compatible. It's like, yay, another goggle module or some new pair of goggles. Painful. And Jack's still not going to get a digital system. He's going to stay analog.
For life. I know.
However long that may be. There's been a load of analog stuff being around for sale in the southeast. Jack, have you picked any of it up?
I shot a message at one and had no reply. I think he was insulted by my offer. I'm keeping my ear to the ground.
Turns out you can't trade 5 gallons of bicarbonate of soda for analog FPV gear.
It's only 250 gallons now. I used half of it.
What you need, I've got a box that's labelled VTX/cameras over on my left.
Have any of them got mini written on them?
No, this one's
I need a. Yeah, no, that's probably micro. I am
specific. It's too small.
Yeah. If anyone's got a wing flight controller, a little mini one, Tom needs one of those. Oh no, the sex box are back. Log into Twitch.
Oh, there we go.
God.
Cheap viewers on Steam.
Don't read it out.
Oh, sorry. Editor, take that bit out.
Just helping the
I haven't heard of this website. What's it about? Is it good?
sex bots.
Oh dear.
Do we only get the?
Anyone-
It's a bit like when me and Jack used to stream on Twitch, and we thought we had like 5 viewers, but it was just a bunch of bots.
But they were very excited bots. So
Yeah,
I know.
clearly doing something right.
Just oh god, goddamn sex box.
Andy RC is in the chat. He's been posting videos again. Have you noticed?
yeah.
Been posting videos of a glass cockpit in his head tracking aircraft that works apparently not just at nighttime, which is the exciting new bit for these where they've got a little screen that connects to your flight controller or whatever and displays flight information. So it pretends to be a little dial or a gauge or whatever. They've
Cool.
traditionally been quite dim. They've been okay indoors, and then as soon as you take it outdoors, you can't see anything. Whereas Andy has been flying it. I mean, it's still at like sort of dusky time, but still, yeah, it's better than it has been in the past. So it's an improvement. And he was there and then posted that video for the first time in ages, and then loads of other channels got wind of it as well. And then just been posting other videos, how-tos and things. So yeah,
Well
Andy
done, Andy.
RC's big comeback on
You've
its
been-
way.
Dearly missed, my friend. Dearly missed.
Ah, has Andy RC posted his wireless head tracking video? Excellent. He was telling me about this the other day, and I was hoping he'd do it before I got round to building my head tracker unit. So that's good. I will keep an eye out for that and maybe skip a whole section of building my head tracker.
No, he's just cock teasing you. He says, no,
Yeah.
it's just a teaser. Zero, what are you doing in August? Do you want to come over and come to the LDO 10 year?
LDO, no, not again.
Because it would feel wrong without you. I don't know what we'll have to do. We'll have to figure something out. But if I have to personally pick you up from Gatwick, I'm getting coal as well. So it can be done. Gary, what are you saying?
I am replying to Zero FPV, who asks, would this Open IPC VRX work with my Dominator HD3? They're only 800 by 600, but do have HDMI in, which I said, in theory, the goggles should scale the input. I'd have to check up my Dom V3s, which are only 640 by 480. I'm basing that on the fact that before we had HD0, do you remember the Bite Frost? Or before it was Shark Bite, it was Bite Frost, and I borrowed one of those, and that's when Greg, whatever that company is now, Fat Sharks, got upset with me about it. But I was able to put that in. That was 720p input, and it sort of just scaled down and looked okay on my low res goggles. So I think it would work, but I'd have to check it.
What was he upset about?
He was upset because I said it wasn't a very good system, because the breakup there's a lot of it, and it didn't have any range. And he posted a comment saying, well, it says all sorts of things really. So they didn't contribute to this hobby at all, blah blah blah, etc. etc. I was like, okay.
5 years later, still on LDO.
Yeah, that's true. My
No real
sentence.
contribution.
Penance.
Just a fucking
No
drain on the hobby. Slime in this here.
what I'm
Slime
here
in that here.
Before we go,
here
I do have to let everyone know about that there's still spaces for the Popham Tiny Whoop racing going on May the 10th and 11th in the big top tent that's at Popham over the summer for their events. There's a big chunk of that is taken over for Tiny Whoop racings. There's 12 hours of Tiny Whoop racing over the course of the weekend. And yeah, they've still got a bunch of spaces available on that to sign up for. There are trophies, I know, because they're currently sitting on my windowsill in my front room, so they exist. There's camping available, and there's all sorts of other stuff that happens over the weekend as well. I will be going there on Monday to help set up. That is my plan for the bank holiday. Let's go
Well, I
build
think
a
it would be
whoop
exciting to
track.
see an outdoor whoop race, just to see if they can make it all the way around the track without running out of battery.
Or being blown away.
Have a gust of wind blow them all over.
It's an endurance test.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Sorry, I'm worn out. How dare I go outside? Oh,
Yeah.
right. Is that my cue? You had enough of me, Frank. Don't answer that.
For what? I'm nervous.
The end of the show.
now. Ah.
You can talk. You're allowed to talk on this podcast.
It's getting up there.
Don't
I'm
hurt me.
looking forward to finding out what you guys are doing tomorrow, because there's going to be smoke involved, some of it purposeful, but I have a feeling there's going to be smoke involved which isn't on purpose somehow. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm slightly nervous that there will be smoke coming from where we don't want it and not from where we do want it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm nervous about.
Have you got your lens ready to capture it?
No, I've got a different lens, but not the one I accidentally spent money on.
We've got the posh lens, yeah.
No, what have you accidentally spent money on a lens?
Again, I forgot I'm not full time employed anymore and spent money that I probably shouldn't have done. But
Oh
I've spent it
no!
now.
Oh Jesus! Well, LDO owe you money.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have it to pay me back yet.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
a while to go yet.
So if anyone wants to become a lovely Patreon, so that you can donate to us, so that we can pay Frank back, so Frank can eat, and LDO can pay an editor. Oh God, this is a very, very, very tangled web. If you'd like to help rob Peter to pay Paul or Frank, whatever your name is now, please consider joining our lovely Patreon, who, without your years of support, we would have not been able to carry on, and we wouldn't have been able to have all these laughs, and we had Andy RC, and it's been great. But yes, we love you guys. If you're a Patreon, you're amazing. If you want to listen to this podcast without the awkward silences, hopefully the bits where Jack is totally depressed, if you've had enough of the swear words, consider having a nicely edited podcast to listen to that might be safe enough to have others in your vicinity listen to this podcast with
Maybe.
you. Yes. Then Patreon, our links in the description, patreon.com/Let's Drone Out. And, it gets you an invite to the LDO No.
Yeah.
Not again.
Because much to the surprise of Nutty Proc 81, who I see in the chat this evening, who came across us the other week on a recommendation and was very surprised we're still going.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I love that. That was like,
Not as
aren't you
surprised as us.
guys dead? Yeah, like expecting like me or Tony to like kill each other. I don't know. Yeah, survival of the fittest. Love your ferret. You've been joined by everyone's favourite curry kitten,
Like,
the very poor Frank,
Bye.
and I don't know how he hasn't killed himself, Jack.
Bye, everyone.
honest to God, my floor is like the face of a teenager who works at KFC. It's awful. No worries. Thank you and good night.